Okay, to Hollywood Bets Greyville we go. Let's get straight into the action. The second race on the card. Welcome everybody. Len Mayhew's on the line on this Sunday meet, and it's over 1,000 metres. Sorry, I beg your pardon, Hollywood Bets Scottsville. Please forgive me. We're in Maritzburg, a place that once upon a time, some of you will remember, the general manager of Maritzburg was a guy by the name of Gavin Brown. We're talking about him, funny enough, the other day. Those were in the days when Basil Thomas used to run Clarewood. Good days. Okay, let's get to the action now. The latest on the market in terms of race number 2. Let me just tell you what they're doing on Friday morning. Number 2, Scots Who is that currently trading at even money as we speak. Second choice, number 9, Give Me a Fireball, 3-1. 7, So Indy is at 7-2. The one Stronger Together is trading at 15-2. And then it's double figures here, Lenny, about everything else. I'm just having a look to see if there are any trainer comments I need to share with you. Rachel's Boy, they say the pullers are saying doing very nicely, might need the run. And a comment from the De Kock team about Give Me a Fireball. Nice horse, if not too green, will run well. So, Bipods, Len, what you doing?
Good morning, Clyde. Yes, well, I think you've hit the nail there on the head. I'm strongly in the camp with the Hollywood coupling. Scott's Way, hey, if that's the correct pronunciation. You know, he ran a very good race first time out after his slow start. He was slow into stride, and he was only beaten just over a length by Kudikaran. So he really will improve on that effort. And I see Gavin Lorena's back in the saddle. And then the danger to me would be the unknown. Give Me a Fireball, very well bred from the Mark De Kock stable. So it looks like one of the two should win the first leg of the bipot. So I think hopefully we can double up in the bipot, but I'm pretty sure one of them will come through.
Fair enough. There's the bipot on screen. Costs $2.88. We've got 2 bankers in there. The third leg banker the 10, and the fourth leg we're bankering the 6. Third race, the latest on the action here. 3-1 the field. Number 15, Rags to Riches, tops the boards at 3-1. Cole Dickens riding this for Gary Rich. Probably the hardest race on the card, I thought anyway. 3, Water Hyacinth is at 4s. Number 16, Asgardian Queen is trading at 4-1. Some money for Mikhail Michel's ride for Tinny Prinsloo. The 14, Tipperary, shortened from 7-1 into 11-2, and they bet 10-1 and better about the balance. There is also, just to let you know, some interest in number 11, Californian Dreamer, who's currently trading at 10-1. Just a quick overview, if I may, Lenny, with regards to the trainer comments. Number 1, Wendy Whitehead says may just need the run. Number 2, Gary Rich says may need the experience. The 5 horse, Alison Wright says will need the run. A trainer comment about 8, Wheels Up, who's had 1 start to date, but Stewie Ferry says strengthened up since the break, but may still need it. And the 12, Dean Kannemeyer, says will need the run. Make a note of that. Glenn Cotson's horse, the filly, 13, Christmas Rose, will need the experience. And those are the latest with regards to comments from the trainers. Okay, let's get our PAs on, Len.
Yes, Clyde, as you mentioned, you look, none of the trainers seem to be too bullish about their first-timers. So there's quite a few horses in with chances here. If I had to side with anything, I would side with the 3-horse Water Hyacinth, but there's many in with chances. So I'm not going to take any chances in the PA. I'm loading up in this leg. Water Hyacinth, I mean, she ran a good race after a 9-month break. When she finished third over 1,000 meters. And if she's come on from the run, you know, she should go close. Then you've got the ex-Harfeld filly Come Together. She ran on to take third on her KZN debut, you know, and she can make further improvement. And then you've got the horses like California Dreamer, Tipperary, Rags to Riches, Asgardian Queen, you know. So as I say, I'm loading up in this race.
Fair enough, got it. That's the PA. Cost 216. Okay, guys, let's get on to race number 4. Maiden Plate this is. It's over 1,200 metres up the Maritzburg Straight, and it's the first leg of the Pick 6. Now, in terms of the market, the rage is for Dean Kannemeyer's unraced horse, October Rush, who was a sales topper, and Craig Zaki riding this. Dean Kannemeyer's comment is include in exotics. And we know when he says that, they're alive. So this horse is shortened from 3-1 to 2-1. Don't know what it opened, but that's what I've got in front of me. 10 Pretty United, who's been in pretty good form. Nothing wrong with that form, is 19-10 favourite. 8 Quick Smart is 7-2. And then the 2 Light the Fire is 15-2. Then it's 14-1 and better. The balance, I can just imagine about October Rush, Len, beautifully bred.
Yes, Clyde, one needs to respect Dean Kannemayer's babies, especially the well-bred ones like this. And he made a positive comment saying to include in the exotics. But for me, I think Pretty United is going to be extremely hard to beat. He was desperately unlucky last time not to have won. He was slow away, and I mean, he was doing low flying at the finish. And if you look at his form line prior to that, it's absolutely, it's so strong. He ran behind Fordray. Fordray's won his next 3 in a row. Give it Laldi ran second that day. He's won 2 since then. Volleygolf came out and won. Meet the King came out and won, who he finished well clear of. And Gail Warning came out and won. So that for me, if it wasn't for October Rush being in the race, I would say this is a penalty kick. But I do respect October Rush, but I'm banking pretty United in all terms.
Fair enough. And listen, if October Rush happens to beat Pretty United, we are safe in terms of the first-timer rule in the pick 6. So that's what we're looking at. That costs $13.20 for a full perm. So Dave the King's got to be all the rage here. This horse hasn't run since early January, but Mike de Kock, the trainer, commenter, should run well. So Dave the King expected to run a huge race. In terms of the market, they've got Dave the King priced up on Friday morning at 2-1. 7 Zets is at 2-1. Number 2 Aristocratic is 33-10. There's been money for Dean Kannemayer's horse. Craig Zaki shortened from 9-2 to 33-10, and 3 King Pelez at 4-1. It's 10s and better about the balance. So there are 7 of them, all quoted, all running, and Dave the King now joint with the horse sides, top of the boards, Len, 2-1 the pair. But I see in your pick 6, you bankered Dave the King.
Yes, Clyde. You know, to take pick 6s, we need bankers. So he's the absolute class act of the race. He's a multiple feature race winner, and it looks like the de Kock yard are taking the same route as they did last year, giving him a prep run up at Scottsville to bring him on for bigger things. But when I say prep run, it doesn't mean to say that they can't win. Their class generally carries them through, and over this distance, I do think he's going to be extremely hard to beat. He does run after a rest. That's not a problem. And with all due respect, I mean, there's no crackers in the apart from King Pelez, who's going to find this trip a little bit on the sharp side, but he to me looks second best. And yes, the 3-year-old Aristocratic. I mean, he's got scope for improvement. And along with Zeitz, who's got to be included in if you're going to go past him. But I'm putting all my eggs in the one basket. I'm going with Dave the King. I think he'll be hard to beat.
Interestingly enough, I'm sure they used this race the last couple of years as well as a prep into the season, and they won both times. He won this race quite easily, actually. So, yeah, he should be the right horse, Dave the King, and we're taking our chances in our jackpot by bankering him with those horses for $4.40. Okay, let's get on to race number 6. I can tell you now the betting on the Friday morning as follows. Even money about Gimme the Truth. Chad Little and Glenn Cotson. They are top of the boards and they look hard to beat here. Second choice, number 4, Full Monty. Keegan DeMello's riding that for Alison Wright. Is 9-2. The 10, Good Omen, is trading at 9-2. 3 Fire Force, 15-2 and 10-1 and better about the balance. That's pretty much the latest in the race. I haven't got much more information that I can share with you, so we'll hand over to Len. Len, give us an idea. Is this favourite the right one?
Clyde, look, it's not an overly strong maiden field, and yes, that could be the right one. Give Me the Truth. He ran a fair enough race last time, staying on at the end, but never been at Scottsville, so you're always a bit unsure in that regard, you know. So I've included the top 4 in the betting. Give Me the Truth, Fire Force, gosh, Full Monty and Good Omen. I think hopefully we can get through the pick six and jackpot with those four. But it's a kind of race that I've got a horrible feeling that it could throw up a result because it's an open handicap. So, you've got some horses coming in with 50 and a half kilos, like Enemy, 50 and a half kilos, and the top weight is carrying 60. So there's 61 and a half. So there's quite a big spread. Hopefully we can get through with the four horses though.
Yeah, it's not likely that Gimme the Truth is going to start even money, likely to drift. But there we go. In this handicap, 2, 3, 4 and 10 is maiden handicap. That'll cost you 12 Rand for that exacta box. A B Stakes over 1,600 metres. Race 7 should run at about 14:35. Again, it's a competitive race. There'd be a few, I guess, Capsaicin might be the horse to beat, but maybe the draw's a bit of a worry. The betting as follows. 1 Green Glow, Dean Kannemeyer and Craig Zaki team up. They're 22-10. 2 Noble City is trading at 5-1 for Peter Muscat. Keegan de Mello's riding that. There's been a bit of interest in Noble City, shortened from 6s to 5s. 3 Down by the River is trading at 5-1. 4 Q Wing is 7-1, and they bet 10-1 and better the balance. I guess you need a few here, don't you, Len?
Well, Clyde, Green Glow, he just needed his first run back after the gelding. And if he's come on from that run, then I certainly think he is the one to beat. But there's plenty depth in the field. So I'm hoping in the PA I've gone the right way. I did bank him in the place accumulator. But for the pick six and jackpot, I find it very open. So anything could win on the day. You mentioned Capsaicin. He's a horse that, he's a strong front runner. But the minute he gets collared, he'll turn it up, and he seems to be well held down by the river. And then a horse like Officer in Command, he's showing signs of coming back to his best form, and he's at his best track. So I think he's a good value bet at 12-1. I think he's about 12-1 in the market at the moment. But as I say, past Green Glow, it becomes very open.
Looks that way. I guess the second jackpot could pay big money. So maybe you want to spend $66 for 10% on that jackpot. That's up on your screen. Okay, welcome back, everybody. Let's get on to the 8th race on the card. Again, a Class 4, and they go over the mile. This Friday morning betting for this race is as follows. 2 Silver Salute tops the boards at 18-10. Number 6 Hunger Tonga is at 5-1. 4 Taylor's Version is 6-1. The 7 St. Bridget 13-2. And the 9 Red Taffety also 13-2. 8-1 about the 8 Blue Poppy. And then double figures 14-1 and better about the balance. Silver Salute or anything really, Len?
Yeah, Clyde, this to me is it's a wide open fillies and mares race, and one should include quite a few, as you see by my perms I've gone field here. For me, I like this horse Miss Twinkle. If you ignore her last run where something clearly went wrong, I'm prepared to give her another chance because her form prior to that was very good. Yes, Silver Salute, obviously, it needs to be included. Was beaten by Red Taffety last time, and she's in the race as well. But I could make a case for virtually all the runners here, Clyde. And then, of course, you've got to respect the visiting horse, Hunger Tonga. She needed her last run, and I'm sure she'll be a lot fitter on Sunday. So, for me, a very wide open race.
Open race it is. Exacta boxed 1, 2, 4 and 6, but anything can win. Okay, welcome back. Let's take a look at the 9th race on the card. This particular event is a Class 3, and they sprint them up the straight over 1,200 metres. Give you an idea on what the story was Friday morning with the betting, so you guys can follow to see where the money is at race time. And number 4, Tulip Fields, is top of the boards at 15-10. Craig Zaki and Dean Kannemeyer team up. The 1 Fiery Rose, been a bit of money for that, shortened from 2-1 to 18-10. Vaughan Marshall and Sean Veal team up here. 6 Dark Matters 11-2, and the 8 1 Smart Cookie 7-1, and the 3 Claudia Matwana 8-1, then 14-1 and better about the balance. Perhaps the two of them, Fiery Rose and Tulip Fields, Len?
Clyde, yes, look, it's a small but at a very competitive field. Some very nice fillies running here. Obviously, Tulip Fields, I mean, she's certainly going to be the one to beat. You know, she was no match for Asia Pambili last time in the recent Poinsettia Stakes, but she's certainly very promising, having won 3 of her 8 races, and she's definitely the one to beat. Against her, though, I mean, she's giving away quite a bit of pudding. She's got 60 kilos to carry, and she's giving away, let's say, 5 kilos to Fiery Rose, and a horse like Dark Matter, also with 54.5, she's getting 5.5. So I don't think it's going to be one-way traffic for Tulip Fields, but certainly the one to beat. The danger, obviously, Fiery Rose, you know, are now under the care of trainer Vaughan Marshall. She had 3 seconds before winning her following 2 races, so she's got a very good form. And as I touched on, Dark Matter, she ran against Taxi to the Moon last time at Greyville and wasn't disgraced, being beaten under 4 lengths. So she's got to come into the play. So for me, those 3, I've gone for those 3. Hopefully we can get through the Big 6 with those 3 fillies.
Yeah, interesting. You know, the Highveld filly now with Vaughan Marshall, Fiery Rose, had some nice horses behind her, Precocious and Just the Two of Us and Versace on the track. They've all done well. So, but in this play, we're going to float the 4 with 1, 2, 3, 6 and 8. Okay, the 10th and last one on a Sunday. Hopefully you have a good weekend. And the final event on the card off at about 25 past 4, class 4 over 1,000 metres. The market for the last time on Sunday, let me pull that up for you and tell you what was happening early Friday morning. And Celestial Diamond topped the boards at 9-2, but was on a drift, open 7s. 5 Summer Winter is 9-2. The 13 Arverni Princess, that's the horse they're backing, shortened from 7-1 to 5-1. Louis Huisson and Keegan DeMello team up here. And the 11 Call Me Jane is trading at 11-2. You can get 7-8-1 and better about the others. A very nice quartet type of race to catch, Len.
Yes, Clyde. Look, it's a competitive fillies and mares class 4 race. But Arverni Princess, you know, she's in exceptional form at the moment. And they're winning. She's won 5 of her last 9 races. And to me, she's clearly the one that they have to beat. And she's just one of those strange horses that every time she races and she wins, she gets, the next time she races, she's at an inviting price. I mean, 11-2 to me is a very decent, generous price for her on Sunday. And I must commend trainer Louis Huisson that he's kept her on the boil for so long. Yeah, really, he's done a superb job there. The one was Celestial Diamond. She hasn't raced for 6 months, you know, due to having an operation. But her form is very good, having a win in 3 places from her 5 runs. And if she comes back to the course fit and well, I think she'll be a big runner. But it doesn't stop there. There's quite a few others in with chances, Clyde. But I've had to cut it down in the second jackpot. As you see, it's already quite expensive at 660. So I've taken a chance with the 2 runners, 1 and 13.
Got it. Thank you so much, as you heard from Len. And we'll use that in that particular play, the trifecta, the 13 also Arverni Princess, but the 1 Celestial Diamond, a big runner. And that'll cost you about 90 Rand. Thanks, everybody, for watching. We shall have no racing on Monday, but back in action on Tuesday.